need to go grab my notebook.
I went ahead and hit the go live button because, pretty late here. Let's at least this way we can say hi to everybody.
Hello.
Hello, especially to Ragdoll down in Australia. As it gets warmer here, it gets cooler there. We're thinking of you.
Wow. Is this... Maybe this angle is totally wrong. I look like I'm in a dark room. I know I sound like I'm in a dark room.
Anti-Heimber. Oh, I didn't turn on those lights.
Oh, I have to get up anyway if you don't...
That's all right.
Wanna... But it was also the angle.
This way I can...
And can you grab the Copico?
Yeah.
While you're there. I still have to get up anyway, but steps 1, 2, and 8 are finished now. Thank you. Also, our chat is cut off. Our chat is cut off. Where?
Huh. Well, that's weird. I didn't change anything.
Well, obviously, David, you killed something. Ooh, I'm going to open the front window, too. I think we need a breeze.
There we go. That's weird. I swear I didn't change anything. With that, get these windows properly situated. Wow, already cold in Australia. My goodness. Hey, Dino-Nid!
Dino-Nid's here!
Woo! Yeah. So, the big news, the saddest news. Has it gotten warmer here? Maybe I just need to do that. I don't know. The poll looks like it's going to require some actual tabulation. And
that means we have to work?
That means that you're going to have to keep everybody
entertained?
Yeah, well,
Just like I'm grabbing a pen.
I'm actually going to go ahead and download the results.
Okay. I'm back.
So why don't you just talk to everybody about whatever is on your mind.
I'm excited I bought a giant 2-liter bottle of kombucha, and so I poured myself a fancy glass full of delicious ginger kombucha. So that's number 1 on my mind. Very exciting. My birthday was incredible. Thank you for asking. David is a pretty awesome guy, and pretty awesome to spend a birthday with, I'll tell you. He was actually invited to be a celebrity guest at a Strawberry Festival. There we go. I totally lost my words for a moment. Sorry. And the Strawberry Festival is like a local event for the whole community here where we live, and it's carnival and parade and craft fair and vendor booth all in one. And so it's just a whole lot going on throughout the community. And for the parade, there are cars with special VIP celebrity guests, and David was invited to be one of them. And so I got to ride in the car with him and wave as people read his sign, and realized he worked on Game of Thrones, and so we heard a lot of people shouting Game of Thrones from the side of the road. It was kind of exciting. And Meridian got to ride too. So Meridian was right there with us in between. And so it was delightful. Got a little sunburned, but I think I'm finally to the point where my skin is no longer bright red where I got sunburned, and so that's exciting. It was mainly on my shoulder up here. I apparently missed right by my shoulders on both sides when I did sunblock. And so there was a very clear line of like I was fine except for these like 2 spots. And so note to self, pay attention when you're sunblocking and get all the spots. Even if it's close to your brand new crocheted top that you made yourself, so that way you looked like a giant strawberry riding in a car.
That was really incredible. Do you want to just like go grab that and show everybody? Cause
I'm supposed to be entertaining people while you do math. I can't leave.
I know, but
it's all the way
just,
upstairs.
It's so cool.
I'll get it when you're finished
Okay.
and able to talk. Oh, and thank you, Ragdoll. So anyway, I will show you the top that I made after David can entertain. But that was my birthday. Oh, and it ended with a night at this incredible restaurant where my sister and sister-in-law had actually bought us a gift certificate, and actually for Christmas. But like this is the kind of restaurant where you have to make reservations months in advance. And so when we got the gift certificate and like when they opened up the new registrations for the future, we realized it'd be so close to, you know, later in the spring that we may as well make it a birthday dinner. And so we had birthday dinner at an incredible restaurant, thanks to my sister and sister-in-law. And I believe it's also Tethys's birthday today, if I'm reading this correctly. Happy birthday! Oh, so exciting. And for anyone on Discord, if you have not seen Jonathan's mix, I think it's in Quotes and Memes. Is that the channel it's in?
It's in Quotes and Memes. If you happen to only be on the Let's Have a Booba Discord, it's, I think, just in chat.
Okay.
But this is all because of something that occurred on the previous Let's Have a Booba. So this past Tuesday, you can catch it every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. But this past Tuesday...
By the way, it's also on YouTube. Jake and Miles are both saying, go on. It's on the Let's Have a Booba and Lavuna Lang's channels.
Oh my gosh, you uploaded it to YouTube? Mm-hmm. Oh my god.
Jonathan just posted a link. But okay, please describe.
I'd ask Patrick to post a link, but we know that he can't.
Please describe what happened. I'll go grab the top upstairs.
So, essentially, they were just doing the Let's Have a Booba stream, and Jake realized something. And it was about stress, but it was one of those realizations. It was a very familiar Conlanger moment. It was one of those moments where it's like you've been working on this language, you're working on it, you come to a point, you look at something, and you realize that you've screwed something up like a while ago. And so Jake said, it was, oh my gosh, what was the... So I'm remembering the oh no.
It was, oh no, wait, I've just realized I've not been stressing them properly. I believe.
Not been stressing them properly.
And
I've not been stressing them properly.
The table with my
Oh,
knee.
I'm so sorry, hon.
Oh.
But
okay.
Yeah. And so in the heat of it, as Jake was realizing, he just said, I've not been stressing them properly. And it sounded, and then followed up with a series of oh no's. And I was like, new club beat dropped. And then I put some things in chat about, how it might be a club beat. Then Jonathan actually made a club beat of it, including an incredible bit from Miles going, wait.
And not only did you get the
was the
original,
first one.
wait. There was then a wait moment. Like, honest to goodness, voiceless wait going on that Jonathan managed to sample from Miles in that moment, and that sort of like there then becomes a nice backdrop beat. It was incredible.
Yeah, so that was the first one. Then Jonathan did a remix, adding a little bit of Steffa on top and on bottom to make it even better. And so now, yeah, apparently it's right there on YouTube. You can just go click on it. Incredible. But yeah, if you need the context, go back and rewatch Tuesday's Let's Have a Booba. It's towards the end. I'd say like 75% of the way through.
What's really funny is I was watching it live, but I was either knitting or crocheting, knowing that, no, knitting. Anyway,
Yeah.
I was doing something crafty while listening to it. So like I heard the moment live, but I wasn't reading the chat. And so I didn't see David doing all this in chat. And like literally when Jonathan had posted like the screenshot from the chat, I just looked at David. I was like, what were you doing in chat? And then like it took me a minute to put all those moments from the live stream together with what had happened. And after listening to it, I was like, oh my God, I remember this moment. But like, oh, Jonathan, epic remix.
Okay, and there's also a link to it in the video.
Oh my goodness.
Incredible. All right, so I now know what I'm about with respect to the poll.
And while David's doing that, here's my strawberry tank top.
Oh, there
that
you
I
go.
Made. And so this was, I made it specifically to wear in the parade because, you know, I wanted to look like a strawberry. And so, yeah.
It was really cute.
Okay.
Not only did you make that, how long did it take you to make that, Jess?
Well, I went on a bit of a spree because I was thinking on Wednesday, oh no, really, what am I going to wear during the parade on Saturday? And David, Wednesday night, you had taken Meridian back home for bedtime. So it was like around 8 or so that night when you took her home. And that was when I was like, I've got red yarn. I've got green yarn. And I started crocheting. So that was Wednesday night, and I finished it on Friday.
It's incredible. Oh my God, Jonathan says, excellent. Jesse just said, oh no, so I can add it to the third version of the video.
So happy to be a part of this mix.
It's just going to keep going. It's just going to keep going.
I am so excited.
Man, pretty soon we'll be able to do the Flaming Lips 24-hour song just with this.
Jonathan says, just kidding, I'm done with it. But anyway. Oh, I'm sure, Jonathan, like at this point, those words mean nothing. Like I can only imagine.
Okay, so...
David, poll.
So this is what happened with the poll.
What did you do?
All right.
Did you add an option I didn't approve?
I think we're all right. But we obviously have work to do, I think. Maybe. I don't know. No, maybe not.
Are you suggesting
maybe
there are
not.
streams where we have no work to do?
Yeah. Just open it up and say class dismissed. 10 minutes in.
Fun story.
Yeah.
But I should let you announce the poll results first. It's a story you've heard before. I don't know that the rest of the people have.
I'd love to hear you tell it again.
Well, speaking of class being dismissed early, when you're in graduate school and you become, at many schools it's called a GPT, a graduate part-time instructor, which means you're like the teacher of the class. Not a TA, you are the teacher of record for the entire class, right?
Yeah.
In many grad schools, they do not prepare you for this moment.
Yeah.
There's no pedagogy course that you take. There's no practice sessions. There's no, hey, like team teach a class and then get a class. And so oftentimes your first class is truly your first time teaching, which happened to me. And to compound the situation, I was actually told that I would be teaching this class for the fall semester 2 weeks before the semester began because the person who was supposed to be the teacher of record got another job, and it was a better financial deal for the grad student, and so they took this other job, and suddenly there was this class that had to be taught. So they gave it to me 2 weeks out. Never taught a class before. been in lots of classes, but never in charge of one for a 50-minute block every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So I get like the books that I'm supposed to be using. I get the syllabus from the teacher who was leaving to be like, here's what I had planned. So that way I actually had something to work with, because otherwise, like, literally had no idea what I was supposed to be doing in this class. So anywho, I prepare for the first day of class. I type out all my notes. I've got, I've done the reading. I've got my rundown of things I want to talk about. And I've got pages and pages of notes. Go to the front of the class. I do my pages and pages of notes. I hit the last word. I look up at the clock, and we're like 12 minutes into class. And I'm like, I'm out. This was all the information I had prepared. And so all I could think to do in that moment was, does anyone have any questions? And of course no one did, because this is, class of college students very early in the semester. Why would they already be asking questions? And so I let them go, because I had no idea what else to do. I was just like, okay, well, that was it for today. Next time, be ready with this reading. And yeah, that was my first day of teaching a class. I had no idea how to do classroom time management. I had no idea how to fill the space. Later in my teaching career, I became a person who could go in with 5 bullet points on a sticky note and talk for an hour and a half. But at that moment in my teaching career, if it was not fully typed out, I had no idea what to do or say. So that was it. Oh, it was called Understanding Grammar. And it was at Boulder, they did thousands for numbers. So it was a 1,500 level class. So it was like in the 1,000 level, which is, like freshman, sophomore, maybe some junior, seniors taking it to kind of pad out their schedule with a lower level class that's a little easier than their advanced ones that they're doing at the same time. But yeah, it was, I think we had like 25 to 30 students in the class. And yeah, first day of class, no questions for the professor, who ends 12 minutes in. None.
So my first time actually being in charge of a class, I had less prep time, but also didn't have to go for as long. But I was the GSI. I was the student. I was the helper. I'm very confused. GSI stands for Graduate Student Instructor. But, I was...
You were more like a TA?
I was the TA. I was a
Okay.
graduate student TA for Masha Polinsky's undergraduate typology class.
Mm-hmm.
And I had, been doing that happily for several weeks. And then the way that UCSD was, where I lived, I had to get on a shuttle bus to come to campus. And I was on the shuttle bus when I get a call from Masha Polinsky, who has had a family emergency and must leave.
Woo.
And has asked me if I could teach the class that day. And, due to the circumstances, the chair of the department, who was Robert Klunder, he was going to be in the class there while I was there. So, because, of course, I wasn't actually signed up to be a professor or anything. We also had graduate student professors, but that was something that was handled before the term started. So then I got there and just, taught the class for that day. And this was the first time, not the only time, where another professor who had come to watch me teach an undergraduate class that day fell asleep.
That's horrifying.
Yeah.
I've only actually been observed, I think, 2 or 3 times in my entire career, which in and of itself says something about the level of preparation that people in general do for college professors. Anyway, I would be so horrified if they fell asleep. I feel like I would just be like, I'm done.
I just kind of laughed at it.
Did you call attention to it? Did you tell the others, like tell the students, oh, look, they fell asleep?
No, but I mean, he knew that he had it, so he apologized afterwards. The second time that happened was teaching my first semester at community college, where it was set up that there was going to be somebody that would come in and observe my class, you know, since I was a brand new instructor.
Sure.
And she also fell asleep during my class and apologized. She said it was very early. I'm like, I know it's early.
This is why I take copious notes, though, whenever I do things like observations, because I've actually had to observe students during like an 8-hour school day of like high school teaching observations. And 8 hours of observing teachers, let me tell you, by the 8th hour, you're a little brain dead. But this is why you take copious notes. Even if you never plan on sharing those notes with anyone, you just keep writing, so it will keep you awake.
Yeah.
Man. Okay. I need
All right. Yeah.
It is. There's a lot of condensation happening. I need a napkin. My kombucha.
It's not a big deal,
Well, it is a big deal when you want to put your notebook right there on the wet spot of the table.
I suppose.
And so, anyway.
All right. So let's get this poll over with. We were talking about whether or not we were going to have a copula. We had a couple ideas about what to do with a copula. This came up because we were talking about comparison, and usually if you're talking about comparison, one of the questions that comes up is, you know, copulaic. So,
Copula?
copula, like that. Copulico.
No.
All right, so first option A, well, the dog language had 4 copulas. It had a positive and negative equative copula and a positive and negative locative copula. We decided that due to the sources of the equative copulas, they would be dropped for the foxes, but we could keep the locative ones, the positive and negative ones. And so that's what we were going to do, have the positive and negative ones right there. I came up with fa for that one rather than just a. Excuse me. I thought it would make more sense. And so it was been fa and bao. And then they would take the doggish comparative suffix to make comparisons. All right. That was option A. Option B was to have a null copula, but to retain the suffix that was used in the dog language and use it as a main verb to just mean to be more. And so kishhaf would be the fox is quiet, and kfel kishhaf is the fox is more quiet. And same thing for equative. Kishjem, the fox is a cloud. All right. That was B1. B2 was the same, except that we replace the kfel, which the dogs used, with tau, which means to grow. And this was Jesse's idea. So these two were the same. We were going to add their votes together.
Go on. Sorry, I just momentarily was laughing at the flashbacks of us having to rewatch our episode to remember what David's notes meant on these forms. And that was in particular one of the areas where we both looked at David's notes and went, what? And we had some guesses, but we couldn't exactly remember. So we literally had to go back and rewatch the episode.
Yeah. And also just making sure, because since we recently listened to the episode, I sounded a lot clearer and than Jesse did. Is that the case? Does Jesse sound a little distant?
I thought that was status quo at this point.
Well, if so, I want to try a little adjustment.
I think we should turn the microphone sideways if we're both coming in from the sides. However,
if we
did you already do option C? I'm sorry.
Let's finish this. Then let's do some audio experiments because we've got the little thingies.
And Mateus has just guaranteed.
Okay.
It's just confirmed.
Mateus is guaranteed it. Jesse
Guaranteed
will
my meh
always
audio.
have meh audio. Okay. And then option C was that there would only be a comparative copula. So there's a null copula. And we had a way of doing negation. We may revisit that. We'll see. But essentially, it would be Akvo Kishhoff, the fox is more quiet. Bakfo Kishhoff, the fox isn't more quiet. All right, so that was it. I had to tabulate the votes because it was very, 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 very close. Singly, option B1 came in last, dead last. It had some votes, but not many. Third was option A. And I'm just going to throw out there for the other patrons that voted, I'm going to go ahead and completely cheat and say that Biblaridian voted for option A. So if you didn't, you know who you voted against.
Our CEO.
Indeed.
You will all be punished in accord
punished
at CopiCon 2. When anyone who didn't vote for A has to wear muted earmuffs during Biblaridian's presentation, so you can't enjoy. That's it.
Oh.
Okay.
Coming in second place with one more vote was option C.
Okay.
And then coming in first with one more vote than that was option B2. So we didn't even have to add B1 and B2 together.
Because they made it.
B2 was the winner. So that is what happened. We'll deal with the fallout now. I'm going to quit this.
Patrick is talking mutiny over here, and I'm a little concerned. Right, Mateus?
Oh, man. Patrick getting burned twice in the first half hour. Incredible. Okay, so that was that. Now, what was the thing I said I was going to do? I was like, let's finish the... Oh, the audio. Audio. Okay.
Yes, we were going to try to fix. Is it still muttony if they're foxes? That was Jake's question. That's amazing.
Oh, my. Insurfaction? For insurrection?
No, I got it.
Okay.
I got it.
All right.
I think I could go with that.
Okay.
But are we going to try to twist the mic and see if that helps?
This is option 1. Get ready. I muted it. Very sorry. You missed all of that.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay, so
My
now.
Okay, you've heard enough of me. Jess, you say some stuff.
Is this sound any better than what it was before the mute? Ragdoll says we sound the same. Mateus is calling us out on our classic LTS moment. David muted us and turning the microphone.
Oh, gotta give a shout out to Magpie for it's only a coup if they're pigeons.
Nice, Kobe. Mute any. And it's not better for anyone. So
it seems the same where my voice still sounds better than Jesse's? Is that right?
Do I just need to... My voice is like David's.
From here.
My voice. How is that?
Okay, Jesse is a little clearer than before. All right, so now here's the next Here's the next option. Now we're going to fiddle with the settings. All I did was fiddle with the
Placement.
all I did was fiddle with the placement. Now we're going to try one of the settings. So give me just a moment.
Go ahead and mute it, David.
Oh, why not?
I mean...
No, I know. Hold on a sec. I'm going to try...
Oh, Ragdoll says it was the same as before, which was fine. So, yeah, I will thinkest thou now my Shakespeare, and rememberest that David hast the microphone turneth the direction. And so, yes.
My father bids me... No. What was it? Gosh, we need to watch Much Ado About Nothing again.
Oh, that scene. That's what you were.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Listen, best scene in that entire movie, though, is birds. Oh, man. Oh, my God. Ragdoll says I'm louder than David now.
Maybe louder. Jesse is maybe louder than David.
Why these conjugations? What conjugations? Oh, was that my Shakespeare? Was I doing?
Oh, what's his face? Michael Keaton's character?
Oh, Dogberry.
Dogberry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's good. Yeah, this is
I caught these two auspicious gentlemen.
We're talking about the movie version, which has Kenneth Branagh in it.
Yeah, and
who I
Denzel
adore.
Washington and Keanu Reeves and
Emma Thompson.
Emma Thompson, and also the woman who played Hero is famous.
Yes, and Claudio is Robert Leonard. Sean.
Something like
What
that.
are his three names? They go in some order from Dead Poet Society. He's
Dead
the
Poet
kid.
Society, right? Yeah.
Robert Sean Leonard?
Sure.
No,
Sean-
not Sean
no.
William Scott. No.
Come on,
No.
get outta here.
I think it's Robert Sean Leonard
Decade
in
too
that
late.
order. I think. Yeah, it is actually one of my favorite movies, period. And definitely favorite Shakespearean
Yeah.
remake.
Yeah, it was really, really well
He
done.
was indeed Wilson on House. So if you've ever seen House, the guy I'm thinking of, is his name Robert Sean Leonard? Anyway, he was in House. He played Wilson. Dr. Wilson. But, okay. We're now ready. What B2 won, David? You said we now have work we have to do.
Yeah, we do. So B2, is it hit? Miss?
B2 is grow, right?
B2.
Are you talking about bingo?
No, I was talking about Battleship. We're even set up for it. We could be
Anyway.
playing Battleship right now. Oh man, that might be a fun LTS stream. We just put Battleship things right here and just stream it as I beat you, since I'm really, really good at Battleship.
Anyway.
We had a Battleship league. in high
People
school.
also were thinking bingo, so that was... I'm glad I'm not alone. Well, you can turn Battleship into a conlang game by doing the whole thing in a language. Your ships can be words of different length in your language.
Hmm.
Using an IPA chart, yeah.
That's certainly like putting a conlang skin on it. I interpreted it as how can we use Battleship to create a conlang, and I was like, it would take a long time, and the decisions you wouldn't be making very many decisions, would you?
And the decisions would have to be placed on the board and such.
Yeah,
It'd be a little...
it would effectively be like doing a schwazi, except it would take a lot longer.
That thing, the app thing. Okay.
Yes, right.
David, B2.
Can we turn bilabial trill into biblaridian somehow? Biblaridial trill?
maybe. David,
Yeah.
did we have a verb for to grow?
Yeah, Tao.
Okay. I momentarily forgot.
Yeah, it's in Hauga.
But it's not in Lohakish yet. Like, we need to make it. What was your uh-oh?
We have 2 words for to grow. If you go to the Hauhoff document
Right.
and just search for grow.
Well, I see it on your computer, but
Yeah, so
I
we
also see it here.
So we have this thal, right, in the proto, and then we have urwa. And not only that, we've used it.
Did we, though?
Yeah. I mean, this is in Luxembourg. I think we have a Luxembourg entry.
We may have, but we also have to grow as number 20 of Luxembourg.
That's to growl. Oh, that's to growl.
To growl. There we go. The box was covering it.
Audience. I didn't read the whole word.
Celebrate. We are celebrating this classic LTS moment brought to you by the search bar covering the L of growl so perfectly
Oh, man.
that I also thought it said to grow. I was just like, but it's
Yeah.
on there twice.
Cheers.
And so, you know.
The moment you said it was on there at number 20, I was like, we have 3 grows? This would be the opossum language.
That is growing of the first kind. I meant growing of the third.
You know, with all these dog dialects, they came together. I'm sure they had different verbs for to grow. And so
That's
one could
true.
be like to grow up as in like a plant.
Yeah.
Or in height. One could be to grow outwards.
Honestly, of all the languages
to
to have
flood.
that problem, this would be
This
the
is
least
it.
problematic.
Mm-hmm.
Kopiko. Enjoy it all 3 ways.
Mate says we have reached levels of LTS never before seen or imagined.
So
I thought
excited.
grow was a very random word to be on that Luxembourg list when I knew that we were working on game vocabulary. Growl is much more
Yeah, it makes a lot more
appropriate.
It makes a lot more sense as it came in to be the word for defender. Defender was a growler, which makes a lot of sense. My brain immediately went to maybe somehow we used grow as an augmentative that we forgot.
All right. We are just Time Studio.
Okay. So let's discuss how we actually want to make this work.
By the way, also, if you missed it, Miles is over here typing, you haven't been reading things properly.
You've not been reading things properly. Okay. Okay. Let's see how we can make this work. I guess we're going to skip over the verbs. Go to the copula.
Bibloridian got you. Got you good. You do a better British accent for your possum voice than you do when you're impersonating Bib. Boom! Been burned with the 6th Knan.
Waterman. Waterman.
How's that, Bib?
TS stands for Lang Taylor Swift. Woo!
Okay, so we're able to enter these into... No, wait. Can we enter verbs in the dictionary yet? No.
Not necessarily.
We're still getting to that stage. So we just need to enter this up above somewhere.
Well, I'm in the copula section. Le Hakish has no copula at all. None. Not even one. Hauhoff, a related language, has 4. Lo Hakish has none. And we don't regret that at all. Okay. Copular constructions work with both nominal, adjectival, and apparently locatival predicates.
I like it.
Work they thus. Okay. Let's do some examples, make sure we're happy with it.
Oh, kebwab instead of cobweb.
Hey, Tinglish.
Toddler. Love it.
I'm not gonna say you missed nothing. But what you missed.
Was nothing.
Yeah. We could use some old fox bullets.
It's facing the wrong way.
Um, we don't have a word for father or mother in Hauhoff. But when it comes to nominal equatives, the easiest thing is with like a profession or a membership of a group or something like that. But professions are usually derived.
My computer is very slowly trying to fix this. Is that too small?
What about the little fox face you did?
Well, we have a few options. Because there's also this one, which I'll move that down from 100. But he's facing the wrong way, I feel.
Oh, I like that.
You like that one?
I do.
Do you want me to show you the other option?
Okay.
Here, actually, wait. I'm going to put the other option below it, and then we can just delete it, but I want you to see what your options are. There's that one. I gotta find it again. And then there's this one.
Love it.
Well, which one?
I don't know. I kind of like the first one. I don't know. For some reason, I know you're saying he's pointing the wrong way, but I liked him pointing the other way. It was like he was the leader of a little procession.
So you like him looking to the left?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Let's create a word for either mother, father, brother, sister, daughter, son, something.
We don't have any of that in Helga?
No.
We don't have mother or father?
No.
What? We do have leader.
Well, yeah, but like that's going to be morphologically complex, you know. So
Okay. Okay.
if referring to us as TS really took off, did anything momentous happen with us in 1989? Like, was that when you created your first language? 8 years old.
It was really closer to 10. So, no.
May have been when I started Taekwondo, but I feel like it was 1990.
I feel like 1990 was when I broke my arm. So it was
Dang.
the school year 89-90.
Oh, so 1989 was like the last year your body was whole.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It was scar free.
Yeah. For me, that would have been 1981. Mother and father, oh, generally, I mean, whoa, boy! The only reason that we were doing it was because they weren't going to be compounds.
Well, I was thinking something like wow, or something for mom, just because it's like you're thinking of what sound these little puppies make, and like when they're crying for their mother, and something kind of
Whoa!
yes, something kind of wow, wow.
All right, let's see what it comes out as. All right, let's get some Lexergy up in here. I want to see what it looks like on the screen. That's good. Okay, we'll start with the Fox language, just since it's here. Wow. It's like mom, but upside down.
Oh yeah.
Okay, wow in the Fox language. Haugoff, I'm pretty sure. Well, why would it do that? I'm pretty sure it's going to be wall. Yeah. So what do you think? What do you think? You like wow and wall?
Wait, it becomes wall in Helgoff
Yeah, there's no change.
with an L.
Yeah, wall.
That's I. WAL is I.
What were you saying?
Wow, like WAU or
Oh.
even WAW, I guess.
Well then, excuse me. Let's take a look. All right, Foxling. Wow comes out as wav.
Ooh, nice vixen.
I wav you, mommy.
I love you too.
Wow comes out wrong. This is the same problem we had last time. I'm not misremembering things, right? Like that is a legitimate diphthong. Yeah?
What is, sorry?
AU?
Fox or dog?
Either language, like we can get those sequences. Yeah, AU, it's supposed to come out as AU. And then later, there was that big table that we deleted.
The curse of deleting things. But yeah, Miles, this was indeed a problem from last episode.
Does anybody remember that big gray table we made where we had the sound changes on the top? And it was how we ultimately determined that it was related to Magpie's Miracle. And it was the final lengthening, remember, where oi and au become u. It's in there. We are supposed to say what happens to au.
Owl becomes O.
Thank
AU
you.
becomes O. Unless you're saying like
Vowel
AW.
sequences with a like back feature merge triumphantly to become monophthongal vowels that are round and of a height that is one step higher than the first vowel in the vowel sequence. Thus, au becomes o. So why isn't it doing that here? Like, the problem we were having last week was because of the emphatic consonant in the front. But in this case, I put it straight in, and it didn't work. And also, W is not emphatic. Make sure that, yeah. All right, well, anyway, options for mother in the Fox language are wav and wo. Okay?
Mm-hmm. I don't know why it didn't sign me in. I thought I had a bookmark link for signing in to the back end. I'm trying, because I can't do
Yeah.
anything unless I'm in it.
Dog language, by the way, wav and wow.
Okay.
So either the word for mother is going to be the same in the Fox language and the dog language, or in one it'll be a diphthong and in the other it'll be a monophthong. What do you think?
I don't know. What are people feeling?
Oh,
What are the people?
that would explain it.
Yeah, that's what I thought maybe the problem, Jake. And so I was trying to get in to look at it and potentially fix it, but it appears that I'm going to have to. Yeah, it's right there.
It's right there. There we go.
It's, I hope, the only one I missed in the entire document. I have to figure out how to re-sign in to the back end of this.
Do you not have a password saved or something?
So as I mentioned, I thought in my bookmark bar I had it linked to take me to the right place, but I don't. And so I've got to go back and find, which means getting Discord to open on my computer. So it's going to be like a whole thing.
Well, with that, now I'm curious. No, that still has the problem. Okay, whatever. Well, let's see what people are thinking.
There we go. Oh, I want to see if this works. Are you using Lexergy right now?
Oh, not a word on it.
Okay. I figured out what I had to do to make that work. So I'm in. I'm doing things. Don't do anything until.
Oh my god.
Okay.
I tried a different rowing challenge today.
Yeah.
Fastest to 2,000 meters. Like, you just get to 2,000 meters as fast as you can. And 2.5 minutes per 500 meters is pretty good, I thought. And I actually came in under that, so I came in under 10 minutes at 9 minutes and 31 seconds. And so I ranked my results, went and looked at the worldwide results. Again, for male identifying individuals between the ages of 40 and 49. And I came in 29th place out of 29 people. I have to shave 30 seconds off my time to get to 28th place.
Well, I did 10 minutes today, and I did not make it to 2,000. 10 full minutes. And I only made it to 1891, I think, was my final.
And I forget if we discussed this on the stream or if we only discovered it after. But this Essex dude, Jake, is apparently some kind of legend. He has like a YouTube channel and endorsements and things like this. So yeah, the 49-year-old Essex dude is some sort of boss, apparently.
By the way, if you quit, like, go into Lexergy again.
Oh, there it goes. It just refreshed. Not that one.
Well, if you pull up examples, do you see the language name?
Oh, yay! Lo hakish.
So I was able to change that too. Oh, my foot just fell asleep, and I just put it down. Oh. Oh.
That's one time for the stream. Let's see if it happens again.
I really like sitting in a particular way that apparently my body is like, you're not supposed to sit that way.
All right, so
Oh, indeed.
they like the separate words for mother, and I kind of like that too. So let's go with it. So I'm in Halgoff right now, adding the new word.
Did you see Jake's comment? There are many legends from Essex. I am but one. Love it.
Yeah, according to my results thus far, I am not much of a waterman.
Okay, this was in Halwa first.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just spelled W-A-U. Okay.
That seems a little silly. Let's just change it to... There we go. Now for this one.
And Lohakish. Be in our W's again. We get whoa. Whoa. There's this moment in Wally that I love.
Mm-hmm.
Where there's like a little cleanup robot and Wally comes in tracking all his dirt, and the little cleaner upper robot
Can't resist.
comes over and is like, whoa, 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 whoa. And I love it. Oh, I haven't seen Wally in forever. That was a good one.
Yeah. And do you remember what his name is?
Is it like Mo?
No.
It's hard to shake in an open glass to get all the kombucha dregs thoroughly mixed. I've just discovered this problem.
Mm-hmm.
So that was all the dregs.
Yeah. It's a bunch of live culture
Woo!
you just swallowed.
Good for my tummy.
Oh, I can smell it. Mm.
Sorry.
It just smells like vinegar. It's so
it has
awful.
a lot in common with vinegar.
Why would anybody drink that? I couldn't resist whoa whoa for mommy.
Oh, how cute. I'm going to add that.
All right.
So we now have 3 entries under M, all of which are like literally the same thing.
Yeah, that's all good. Fox is a mother. Quiche. Whoa.
Quiche, whoa. That's a cute little sentence.
All right. Quiche. Adjectival predicate. Hoth. Fox is quiet. And now locative predicate. So this is one where I feel like we should probably be using our cases. Yeah.
I would think so.
Yeah. Very nice. Okay, locative. Locative. We need some sort of a noun that you could be at, in, or on.
Tree.
Right.
River.
We have
Cave.
We have words for tree. We don't have a word for cave. We don't have a word for river. So let's do
Den.
tree.
Home.
Uh,
Nest.
Let's do. Okay, so fell comes out in Lohakish as foul.
Oh, nice. Okay,
That's a
so
nice word.
foul.
Nice word. Oh my gosh.
How are you such an old man?
Evidently not old enough to really compete at indoor rowing.
Oh, man. You'll be legend by the time you're 50. It's okay. I mean, but for real, if you row every day, well, almost every day, all the way through to being 50, like, I bet you really will be
Yeah,
up there legend.
we'll have to figure out what to do when we're on trips. Jake, does your family have an indoor rowing machine?
No, forget that. Does your family have a boat? We can go out on the water. Whoosh.
That's true.
That's actually, I've only rowed in water, like in an actual rowboat once. And that was in Central Park in New York City.
You want to tell us about that?
I rowed a rowboat in Central Park in New York City. Oh, it was the year that Kay went with me.
Oh.
And so it was me and Kay, and then we met up with Sarah. Came up. She was, in the DC area, so Sarah came up, and then my friend Mary still lived in New York at the time, and
Yeah.
so the 4 of us went and we did the thing in Central Park where you can like rent a rowboat,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, I was very excited to do the rowing, and so I did.
I hate to tell you this, but the keystroke that you have on our Conlangery keyboard layout for phi is the wrong one.
I didn't change that one.
I know. I guess it's been the wrong one the whole time.
What do you think it is?
Wait. It worked that time.
It's option K and then P.
You know, I accidentally hit the shift button. That's what I did. Yeah, it'd be odd if it were. I mean, because we've used it before. Why would it suddenly change? Yeah.
Okay, I haven't changed it for a while.
I'm gonna pop up real quick. I'm gonna do 2 things. One thing has to do with you.
Oh my god, what do I have in my hair? So the little spider building a web?
No, it was just a circle. All right, now next thing, I just need you to.
Oh, push on your arm. Oh, your hand's in the way of the chair. Do you want me to, if you give me space, I can stand up and actually push your arm. Okay.
Oh,
Doing a little stretching.
oh my God. Oh,
David's got a bum shoulder,
I do.
and so every now and then I just push it backwards for him. But usually we're standing and I can like actually move.
Yeah.
Aww. What did we do for our wedding announcement? Do you remember?
I don't quite remember either. Man.
Between George and the dice. I do remember shooting Matisse out of a cannon. That was a classic moment.
So did somebody posted that on ours, right? The Hello Kitty thing with Hello Kitty was real. It was very funny.
Oh, I don't know.
It was a Tumblr joke. I swear their humor is next level. But somebody posted like, if Hello Kitty was real, we would be best friends. And then somebody else reblogged it and said, "You mean me?" And they reblogged it again and said, "Yes, of course," or something like that. But
Huh.
it's
You showed that to me.
yeah, nice demonstration of the
I think I
ambiguity
smiled.
with inclusive and exclusive we. I don't know if anything is supposed to happen to F.
To F.
I'm so tired. I'm not.
Why are you so tired?
Because I woke up earlier than I needed to. I mean, I got myself up. I
I tried to keep you.
I know.
I was like, you don't need to get up.
I don't think anything happens to that.
There you go. Actual footage of me.
Whoa! Oh, you got to show that to everybody.
This is me rowing my boat in Central Park. I was, like I said, very excited. I'm waiting for it to actually show up on screen. It says I'm live, but wow, this is one heck of a delay. Let's try this again. Well, I don't know. Did it actually show up on screen? My YouTube's acting weird. So just let me know. I fear that says nice. I'm going to say that's for me. We're good.
So my first time rowing.
Oh, thank you, Magpie. Mm-hmm.
It was 8th grade. And we were on a field trip for our science class with Mr. Meyer, who was my mother's science teacher when she was in junior high, who had really inspired my mother to want to be a marine biologist. I think that my mother hoped that I would be similarly inspired.
Okay.
He was a very, very good science teacher. Clearly cared about the subject, knew a lot about it. He dressed like Jacques Cousteau. He was a really cool guy. Did not get me interested in science.
I mean, it's not for everyone.
Nothing about it grabbed me. But I learned a number of things. For example, that one of the things I remember learning most clearly was that sharks' jaws hinge twice. So not just here, but also here. And he said because of that, for example, they could take a bite out of this flat chalkboard.
Ah.
It's like, whoa.
Yeah,
They really
that's
are
crazy.
apex predators. Anyway, we went to not the Bolsa Chica wetlands, because I knew that place. We went to somewhere else, but near around. And what we were doing was we were taking samples of the water. And he had actually made these little kind of traps so that you lower them down into the water. You press a button and then they
Gotcha.
like that. So I actually was rowing my girlfriend's friend, who would become my second girlfriend.
Suspect.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, and so like we're rowing, right? It's just the two of us in this boat, and we're rowing and not making much progress. But she's like, this is very nice. And I was like, man, we're really not getting there. So just give me a second, and then I start really rowing. She's getting wet. Go to the center where we're supposed to drop this thing down, and like I'm trying to load it, and I don't know how to describe this in a way that's going to make sense. Everybody is familiar with this, but there was kind of a metal wire, okay, that had little parts like this, so that they were graded, so that it could so it was all metal, but it could bend. I was trying to manipulate these things, and it was kind of hard to pull them around, and whew, it sliced up my fingers good.
But you must have impressed her, because she became a girlfriend later, I'm assuming.
She evidently, forgot about the dowsing, which is good.
Or she was, again, impressed. I don't know. Maybe she was like, look at this guy row.
Yeah.
This is my kind of guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bet I could have gotten under 9 minutes on a rowing machine back then.
Man.
Anyway, dropped the water, had to get Band-Aids.
I will say, though, that was my one experience, rowing an actual rowboat. I've also done kayaking, but that's with the paddle you got to do this on. And I've also done a lot of paddle boating, because that was big on the ponds and lakes growing up.
Isn't that pedaled, though? Like with your feet?
Paddle boating, so I've done that.
How did you do that if you can't do bikes?
Well, one, it's really been since my surgery that I can't do bikes, so anything pre-26 was actually much better. Two,
Got it.
you're not alone paddling.
Yeah, all right. I have completed my research, and indeed this is correct.
Okay, so we can finally talk about...
We've got a word for tree.
And it's foul? Foul.
It's foul, and now we can go to
out.
foxes in a tree, and I think that's going to be foul.
Yay!
Yes. All right.
Oh, well, thank you, CJ. I'm looking great for 1999. Or for 99, I mean, not 19. Haha. Because CJ said 1926, the year. Since 26.
Wow. Well done.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, in 26, I would have been older, because I was an adult when I had the knee surgery, so I'd be much older than 99.
Yeah.
I'm looking real good.
You sure are.
For 125, don't get any ideas there, buddy.
I'm getting ideas, Stress.
Listen, we've already had too much PDA for a Con Lane stream. We don't need to make this weird. And you've run Danielle off. Bye, Danielle.
I will tell you this, Ragdoll. I hate riding bikes uphill. I also hate riding them downhill for a different reason. Not that it's hard, it's the stopping. And, I had an incident when I came to college thinking that I was going to be a bicyclist and would bicycle to class, where I almost ran into somebody because I was coming down a not super steep hill. And that I was like that, and then almost getting sandwiched by a bus. I was like, nah, this is it.
Man.
Because it's like, you know, on a bicycle, you're supposed to ride on the street. You're supposed to ride on the street.
Not everywhere.
There you were. And if they were going to treat me like that, then I was like, maybe I shouldn't do this. So I just started jaywalking. A proud Berkeley tradition. All right. So we got that.
Mm-hmm.
Next, because there's 3 other things that we need to account for. We didn't bake in negation to this one.
Okay.
And so we need to figure out copular negation and then regular negation as well, like full sentential negation. Because essentially, tau is just going to be a verb.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's going to be a verb that takes a nominative complement, which is... and I do want to actually write in words what occurred here. No. You?
Yeah, Magpie, I was about to say the same thing, because Magpie says, can't forget purple negation. Is that...
That was for option C.
and we did not do that one.
We
Okay.
didn't, but we can revisit it. But for here, what am I saying? Right. To make this explicit, nominal predicates co-occur with the nominative case, as do adjectival predicates. Locative predicates, on the other hand, use whatever case makes sense given the intended meaning, or they use the case signed by the relevant preposition. Okay. So let us first talk about purple negation, what it is. So all will know. I think it's on this page. So very unsuccessful. We had written up, and these are kind of all proto ball thaw. Okay, and that is literally
I'm gonna go over here and look up. Bal is to flee, and it's a schwa in the proto form.
flee, lie, and I think is that it? It's either that or there.
For the
Thaw.
da.
Thaw.
That one
There.
is there.
Okay. And so this would give the rough meaning. It is not the case that. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and by the way, the what we figured this would come out to in the Fox language is that Volta.
Right. But this was voted against. Although, why was it separate from the other options? Because if we don't have certain things, couldn't that leave negation up for grabs?
Essentially, it did.
Okay.
Essentially, it did. I mean, it's pretty easy because it just makes everything that follows it, cleft, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so you could do that with You could do that with these copular constructions,
could
and
be
also
like
with standard
Balta
verb.
Kishwa.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it just seems right there for the taking.
It is.
Because we're effectively taking the verb out of it, right? So it's not
Yeah.
like bal umta, it's just balta, and balta,
Yeah.
balto becomes balta. See who's paying attention. Also, like, I realized as we were in the middle of this stream that I left my rings upstairs. Because, like, I'm just, like, I'm still getting used to, like, taking my rings off. Normally I don't. But for rowing, I need to because it hurts. And I left them upstairs. I put them on the frog with my glasses. And the frog is still holding my rings. I got my glasses.
Go grab them.
Okay. We're getting 91%.
Yeah, you are
I
dismissed. I really want to know who the no is.
We want names.
I have to say, I never really had a pressing need to visit Australia until I saw that stunning Parliament building in Canberra, the old one. Just gorgeous. I would really love to see that in person. I would take 1,000 pictures of that. You're a Tower fan. Jake, why do you have a fan going? It's May and you're in England. Matisse has been to Australia.
Much better. Okay. Did we find out who voted no?
No.
Okay, so we're doing this? Making this negation?
Mm-hmm. It's horribly muggy here at the moment. I post your numbers. Post your numbers.
You know that muggy doesn't have to do necessarily with hot.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. So you want Tinglish to post dew point and humidity levels? Is that what you're asking?
Is muggy understood outside of the UK? We invented it. You borrowed it.
What?
The word muggy?
It came from American English?
Of course it did. They tried to pretend it was theirs. It was ours.
I think David's pulling my leg. Muggy comes from mid-17th century.
And
Probably from Old Norse. From mug to drizzle. Moog.
Old Norse was still around in the mid-17th century?
No, it's from moog, Miss Drizzle, from Old Norse moog, Miss Drizzle. So it's been in the language a while. Its use as muggy instead of just, to mean Mr. Drizzle is from the mid-17th century. But you can compare it with Icelandic mugga to snow in calm weather. That's what that means. And Norwegian mugga to drizzle.
Wow, just snow and calm weather. What a lovely word. All right.
What was that, a little bug?
There's a hair
Oh.
in
We-
places where I type.
We have been getting the little gnats, so beware.
Negation works rather simply in Lohakish. The entire phrase is preceded by
Balta.
Bauta.
I feel like in
Itself yeah.
oh sorry, I didn't mean to make you stop. I was gonna say I feel like this could definitely be an area for like the informal like bao, you know, like you could see like Balta Kishwo and then like Bao Kishwo, you know, like a shortening.
Mm-hmm. Of the older plays. I guess, yeah, I'll just put this home. I'm sorry, everybody.
You should be sorry.
Clean from there.
Yeah, I've never heard. I don't even know what it means. So now I gotta look it up. Jake has a to mug off, to make someone appear stupid, especially by deceiving them or treating them badly in a relationship.
I've never heard of that. I think
I bet
Jake's
it'll-
telling porkies.
I bet it'll be on the next episode of New Tricks. We're gonna hear it. And we're gonna be like, "Oh my gosh, we just learned that."
Yeah, we're getting a lot of it's another expression that I can't believe exists. It's we're getting a lot of modern British slang from New Tricks, which is kind of funny, given that the premise of the show is that these are retired, like former police officers who, after retirement, are coming back and doing stuff. Anyway, mid-40s. That's in the hundreds.
Is it?
I believe so.
Celsius 45 to Fahrenheit. Ooh, 45 is 113.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Ooh, I think Jake used to watch New Tricks with their dad. I think that's what is being said.
Nice.
And it's a lot of fun. Ooh, I am correct.
You know, if
Ooh, I think I need to put those in the fridge.
nice, if you've ever been to Arizona in the summer and it's 120, like, you get it. You know, it's not so bad.
No, it is bad. It's just a very different kind of bad than the bad that you get at 100 degrees in other states or 80 degrees in
it's
other
just-
states. It's a different kind of bad.
It's just a different way of life, you know.
It's called the raisin way of life, where all the moisture gets sucked out of your body and your eyeballs start feeling like they don't belong in their sockets anymore.
Nah.
No.
You just feel good. You feel alive.
No, you don't feel good. You in fact feel like you're dying a slow and miserable death.
Feels like you're dancing.
David.
No, the humidity there, it's like, I'll take 120 in Arizona over 90 in Florida. Oof.
I'll stay inside in both places at those temperatures.
There's no escape in Florida.
I've been to Florida once, and it was in January, and it was too hot to walk outside.
Yeah,
It's January.
I've been to Florida in January too, like late December. Like, I was there for New Year's, and it's like, wow, seriously? This is how you live?
It's
Somehow they just got it wrong there. Like, I've been to plenty of islands, both in the Pacific and the Caribbean, and it's fantastic. I don't know how Florida got it so wrong.
It is very, very gross. Yeah, Jonathan, so it's warmer here. It's like low 70s, but we also have the windows open, and it is very lovely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Kobe, I don't know how it isn't tropical. Like I don't want to know what tropical is if it's worse than that. Mm.
Um,
Yes.
I need a sentence with a verb. We have verbs, right?
Well, I thought we had verbs, but we don't have them in the dictionary.
Yeah, but we've created some, yeah.
Do you know? Well, I mean, we've got ideas.
So we have,
To hop, to flee, to join, to guide. We have this list.
to flee. We might
Where's
ask
our
ourselves if
verb
we're still going
chart?
to use that verb. Um,
Oh, we have to bash.
let's do ish, to fear. That's a good one.
Why do we have to bash?
Probably because it was a simple.
Weird little word to have.
Yeah, it's third person singular. All right, what's the fox going to be afraid of or not afraid of?
What words do we have?
Balta ish kish.
Well, we
Ish
do have
kish.
Brahm as dog. We have bone. Be afraid of a bone. A cloud. Run from that cloud.
All right.
Could be
cloud.
afraid of the rain.
Cloud it is.
There's also cat.
Oh, rain. Holija. Holija. Fox isn't afraid of the rain. I like that.
So I can stop looking for other.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Fox isn't afraid of the other fox.
Is Aaron O'Dowant somebody that does rowing or has some sort of opinion about rowing? By the way, you know who I was rowing in that boat? Sarah Rowan.
No. No way. What? Well, why wasn't Sarah doing the rowing then?
Come on. Like I was going to miss that opportunity.
To show off that you couldn't row the boat unless you drenched her?
You could just stop at show off. Like, why would I ever miss that opportunity?
That is too funny. What grade was this again?
I have rowed since I was 6. Both my parents are rowing coaches. It sounds...
Wow. But what grade was this again?
8th grade.
8th grade? Okay.
Yeah.
I remember it wasn't quite high school, but I blinked out a minute there.
I like that image, Ragdoll.
Ooh. That is nice.
Anyway, Aaron, we have an indoor rower, and I was simply bemoaning my lack of progress. And now that I know that you are a rower, I don't even want to tell you some of my numbers because...
Well, you already announced it in the stream.
Well, yeah, but they actually going to go back. I actually had trials for the Welsh team yesterday.
Woo! Oh, that's exciting.
That is exciting.
Man. So, as a side note, one of my friends in high school, on her family's property, there was a large pond, and they had a paddle boat, and there's an island in the middle. And so we used to paddle out there.
Pedal one?
A paddle boat, yes, that's what that is.
Huh.
Second time you've asked me about that, but yes, the paddle boat.
I also do it like this.
Not unless you're laying on your stomach in that weird seat going down, because they're down at the.
It
at
might
your
have been.
feet.
It might have been designed thus.
Anyway.
I never saw it.
Anyway.
I was never brought to this lake or this island.
You've never met this friend.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. You think it's still there?
The pond?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right.
Because it's her family's property. Like.
You think they're still there?
Yeah.
And you think they'd like to meet me?
I don't know. They'd probably like to see me again, though.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But anyway, yeah. So I was just thinking, like, there is no hammock or pagoda or anything else on the island, but it was fun. Everyone does start somewhere. Thank
Everybody
you.
starts somewhere,
Thank
but I
you.
am somebody that does 20 pull-ups a day. Where I started should have been further along. My progress should have been quicker.
Anyway.
Mm.
Oh, so Aaron says the results won't be released for like another month, but feeling pretty secure just by how it went. So that's very exciting.
Yeah, that is for real. So
And if I'm watching, he does more than 20 because he shows off.
That's true. And actually, I do the L with my legs out, get a little bit extra.
I try to hang on the bar every now and then. I can't take off and actually pull myself up at all, but I try to hang with my arms at an L shape, and I just hang there. I can last for like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
And then I fall.
Everybody gets their thing. That's my thing. I've always been able to do a lot of pull-ups. The most I've done is 30. Yeah, I know. I should be able to do more than that. No, I like the most I've ever done at once is 30.
At once, okay.
Yeah.
I just know like there was a while there where you were doing more than 30, but not in one go.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, just at once. And then I did once do a complete one-arm pull-up. So not these. That's essentially 2 arms, but doing it weird. I did one like that.
Man. Oh, no.
Then I think that was
I like
probably
that tinglish. Don't know how many I can do. None of my business. That is amazing.
So, Aaron, when you say trying out for the Welsh team, like, does that mean that like this would put you on the road to potentially being in the Olympics?
God, could you imagine? I would so be watching rowing. When is the next Summer Olympics?
Because the Olympics were last year, right?
Was that summer? Yes, summer was last year.
Why
2024, right?
Wait. Oh no.
So 2028, LA is the next. LA.
My God. Oh my God.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my
Aaron.
God.
Yeah, Miles beat us to the punch, I think, by actual timing of that conversation.
Yeah. Like, if you were legitimately, seriously, actually in the Olympics, 100% we would be there.
Right? Oh my goodness.
I actually wonder where the rowing would be. Do you think it would be in Long Beach? Because, they practice rowing in that. I guess we've seen them.
And where in Long Beach?
Believe it or not, it's where you exit the 405, or you exit the 22 West, like right at...
Is it the area with the water by the aquarium? Like that?
No, not even that far.
Oh.
It's much closer. All right, so where you're on the 405 and you get on the 22 West, and then like...
No.
Okay. All right. PCH, the place where we went to, that Chinese place where the Van Leeuwen's is.
Yes.
All right.
The ice cream place.
Yes.
See, David's talking my language.
There
now.
we go. All right. When you're coming back home, there's a point where you turn left to get onto the 405.
Okay.
And remember, when you get on the 405, it's that weird thing where there's actually a shop on the entrance. It's a storage facility. You remember?
No, but I believe
pointed it out several times because it's like, to get to it, you actually have to get on the freeway.
David.
But not on it. You have to get on the on-ramp.
Does it sell ice cream? If it sells ice cream, I remember.
I've never seen anything like this in my entire life.
Anyway.
It's a place where in order to get there, you have to get on the freeway but not actually get on it. You have to get off of the on-ramp. To your left, as you're there is a river. And there are people that row in that river. And I mean like teams. Mm-hmm. Anyway, sorry. Welsh team is a subsidiary. They don't compete on their own? Okay, the rowing would be the rowing like that they have there that was built for this. Okay. Right.
Right, Miles? These are the kinds of important questions. And if David pointed out this storage area and was like, listen, there are 36 freezers in one of those units holding ice cream, I would have been like, oh, and I probably remember it. As it is, like, I think I know maybe what he's talking about. It's one with orange doors, I think. But aren't most storage units with orange doors? I don't know. But I think I may know, but I definitely know where the ice cream shop is. I know, right, McCain? Mateus.
Wow. Look at that, Ragdoll.
Ooh, that's amazing.
Do you by any chance know who Kimberly Cole is then, Ragdoll? This is just out of curiosity. She's a big deal in the roller skating world over here.
Mm. We do have some talented folks here.
Yeah.
You know what else we should be talking about?
Huh?
Besides, did you do the verb you needed?
Yeah.
We had the rain.
Yeah,
okay.
I got that. I need to make a note in here.
Did you? There we go. I see it now. Because the verb goes first, right? Nice. What options do we have moving forward for polls?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know at all. I haven't got the slightest clue. But we needed to write a comparison because we know how we're going to do it. I guess it's just a verb. But we, I guess, could deal with some of the problems that now we have to deal with because of the results of this poll, which is, may the better fox swim or something like that,
What was your first example sentence that popped to mind?
Mm-hmm.
May the better fox swim.
Yeah.
This feels like a line we would get to translate, and David would be over there cursing, what mind came up with this? I'd be like, it was yours, David. It was yours. Yeah, can everyone please translate "May the better fox swim" into their conlangs and let us know what was difficult.
Yeah. Anyway, to put a bow on that end of it, by the way, Kimberly Cole was the daughter of a friend of my mother's. It was a teacher, Nancy Cole, and Kimberly Cole was a competitive roller skater, and artistic roller skating, like to the point that she was on the cover of like roller skating magazines. This would have been the late 90s, early 2000s. And then after a while, she actually became a pop singer. She had one music video where, of course, it features her roller skating. This is like slightly after Britney Spears. And I guess she wasn't famous enough for every single person in America to know her, but famous enough to like have more than 1 million Instagram followers.
Well, if this is her currently, she only has like 60,000 followers.
Huh.
Ooh, I think I see photos though. Some really cool lifts happening.
Mm.
Okay, Bloody Mary is a song Kimberly Cole unveils. A dazzling display of artistry, emotion, and roller skating mastery.
Yeah, that's her.
That was December of 2024.
Oh.
I totally want to watch that video as soon as this ends. Nice.
I feel like I know that name, Melissa George. Wait, what was the name of the girl in the character in Mean Girls? Regina George.
Regina George,
That's
yeah.
what I was thinking of. There's a bird just outside, and it's a very happy little bird, isn't it?
It sure is.
All right. Anyway, so participles, because if it's going to be a verb to be xer than something, then you might have to deal with participles.
Okay.
But it's like, if it's only going to be a verb, right? The fox, exceeds, or the fox grows quiet or something is essentially what it is, that the fox is quieter. Then we have to figure out how to say the fox is quieter than something, and then also figure out how to say the quieter fox.
Okay.
Maybe the quietest fox, I don't know. We don't necessarily have to distinguish quieter from quietest.
Okay. I am totally back to paying attention and absolutely not trying to look up this article's mention of Blood, Sweat, and Wheels, which is a documentary delving into the underground culture of artistic roller skating.
Yeah.
This is not where my focus is now.
Yeah, a friend of mine. Jesse Lower, but John. I remember when we met Kim. It was at a party at Nancy Cole's house, and she was made to sit with us because we were around the same age. I think she's a year older, and it was pretty clear. It was like, why do I have to sit with these two?
That was her response to sitting with you?
Yeah.
Well. This was, how old were you again?
16, 17?
I've seen pictures of you when you were 16, 17. I'd be like, hey.
A lot of people at my high school saw me when I was 16 and 17, and that wasn't their reaction.
Oh. You were around the wrong people. I got a picture of you when you're 16 hanging on my wall. I like it so much.
If the comparative is to grow, the most being the elder of some of the quietest foxes, the fox elder of quiet? I don't quite follow that, but I like the idea. But yeah, the quieter fox. I mean, I hate to do this, but we should at least... Here, let's just write this up. To form... I hate to do this without being able to finish it, but because we haven't figured it out, but the form of the... To form comparative constructions in Low Hakish, it is... one uses the verb tau, and then its protoform was tail, I think, to grow.
Double check
As
that. Yes, that is the protoform.
is the main verb of the sentence. The adjectival, the object is an adjective in the nominative. Examples are shown below. This is normative, as I discovered. This is quiet. Comparative.
I see you learning from Meridian's handouts.
Fox is quieter. Oh, now we can address that. The translation was the fox is a quiet.
A quiet?
Yep, that's what was written there. Fixed it. Yeah, ditto, Jake.
Okay.
Oh. After the last time. They've been looking at Lexergy the whole time. They've been looking at Lexergy the whole time.
And they waited until now to tell you.
Maybe somebody said something to me, but this is the first time that we were tagged. Oh my god. I am so sorry. Well, here's the section on copulas. It was nice. Here's negation. Unbelievable. Can't believe I did that. Shout out Lexergy, made by Graham Hill. Tongues and Runes, Saturday at 6 a.m.
Let's have a booba Tuesdays at 1:30.
Well, yeah, but I did that one at least. Okay.
I have noted the sentence that I need to apparently translate. I don't even know what language it'll be best to tackle this in.
Yeah.
Oh, Jake. Why, thank you. Jake just wants to admire my hair.
Oh, I know. Makes a lot of sense. Really good once you did this with it. It was just, and then it was blowing in the wind for a little while. It's wonderful.
I've not been paying attention.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait.
Is that us? Are we more terrible reality TV, Jake?
Oh my god, that'd be hilarious. Okay. So now, then, yeah, if we want to talk about the quieter mouse, we may need to talk about participles at that point.
Yeah.
And so that is...
I think that's where we're headed. But first, let me just see what we say about participles here. However, doesn't have participles. It just uses the genitive. Good. Okay, so that's a good note. But now let's look at comparison. Is bigger wa. Wa is accusative.
Okay, sorry. I now got a little lost looking up the show Jake is watching. So accusative wa.
Yeah, I think we should just use the accusative since it's like Halgoff. Imperative, no object. Imperative, object, or with object. The fox is quieter than the dog.
Bram.
We need that in the accusative.
One moment, please. Hobram.
Hobram. Have to get that on one line. Nope.
Why don't you call it a full comparative and comparative no standard? Or not standard, no, yeah, that would be a standard. Yeah, standard of comparison. Or no object.
That works. Bless you. Bless you.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness gracious. There is so much just stuff floating in the air. Woo! My goodness. Okay.
Hang on. Got a Bibleridian update. Just finished the rough edit of my most recent conlanging video, and I managed to cut it down from 15 hours to only 1 hour and 40 minutes.
Wow. I want to know what those 13 hours that got cut out are. Do we get the full? Wait, as employees of Bibleridian CEOs Corporation,
Also patrons. We are patrons.
do we get the full?
Yeah, really. I like that typo.
Bub.
Aaron over there, like a 1920s gangster. That's a very good job, bub.
Now why do you tell me something I don't know?
All right. Okay, and then superlative is.
Oh, thank you, Ragdoll.
I wonder if we can do something with that. We don't do anything with it in. No. Yeah. Okay.
I read Aaron's comment differently from the drink. This has all been a front for my whiskey business. And I read it as, whiskey, like little whiskers. Little whiskey business.
Aww.
And then I was like, oh, wait. Moonshine, right. Oh, that is too funny. Well,
I like
we could
this.
all use 13 hours of watching you stare at the wall in silence.
I'd like to imagine in this video. In order to create a language.
You're doing good. Risky business. That's amazing.
And so on for 13 hours.
Well, moonshine can be a lot of things, depending on what you use to make it. And it could be hard to pin down what it is, depending on who's making it and what they're using. But some is, yes. Ooh, stay grammar, Miles. Woo!
As a note, there is no formal distinction between comparative and superlative.
As Patrick says, in order to create a language, you must first become a language.
Okay.
Did something happen to Miles? Did you see this? Miles, are you okay? Confirmation that you're okay. Man. Just wouldn't be like trying to contact Miles for a while. You okay? You okay?
Jake, can you send Miles some sort of text message?
That could be dangerous, Mateus.
Miles is like, stay grammar, and believes that he has gone over to his bank website and is typing in his password.
Well, one heck of a password. I like, though, that the second time around it was like shouted. Like, oh, I'm telling you this password is right.
Mm.
Actually, I think caps lock got stuck there at some point.
Mm.
I mean, that's one heck of a bonk, though. That's like a swipe and a bonk, and then another swipey through, and then a third time. I know, right? No response. Does Miles have a cat? This is what...
No, I don't think so.
See, I
like, if
didn't.
Miles had a cat, we would have seen it.
Surely by now this cat would have made it on stream or on Discord. I mean, that is, if Miles is a cat, then the typing was appropriate. Just want to make sure.
This is so yeah, we're gonna be looking at participles for the poll. Just FYI.
Okay. And do you already have ideas for what the options are going to be, or are we
Yeah,
going to be?
yeah, I do.
Sorry, I should probably be talking instead of just like doodling stars all around the sentence. May the better fox swim.
Oh, I haven't figured out passives. The poll is either going to be participles or passives. It's going to be one of those two.
Woo!
Okay.
That sounds good.
All right.
We have gone over now
Yeah.
to make up for the lateness.
Our fingers are crossed that Miles is okay.
Let me see. I have to hide the page next to it. So I gotta... Oh, here's something I can use. There we go. I can hide that bit. There we go. And then here we go. There's my sentence. Waiting for it to show up. Yee! Whoop! The other thing's falling out. Oh no! Oh no! I'll go chase those later. Oh man. Oh man.
All right. Well, stay grammar, everybody. Next time, make a lot more noise if you think I'm either on the Pages document or on Lexergy for too long. I'm really, 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 really sorry about that. All right. Have a good one, everybody.
We'll see you next week.
All right.
Bye.